Good morning, students. This is Nazin Hussain, your SST subject teacher, again welcoming you all in STBA online classes. I hope you all are fine and following the rules and regulations made by the government for the present situation of the India. Do follow them because these rules are made only for your safety. In previous class, students, we had a discussion on history, lesson 1, tracing changes through 1,000 years. In that class, you learned about the changes occurred between the 700 to 1750 Common Era. Today, I will teach you civics lesson 2, role of government in health. Students, as you all know that India is a democratic country and in a democracy we expect from the government to do work for our welfare. This could be through the provision of education, health, electricity, water supply, housing, employment, etc. Students, today's chapter focuses on the role of government in health sector. And right to health is one of the fundamental rights that has been given in the Constitution. But however, when it comes to reality, the provision of the healthcare facility in India is not up to the mark, what actually it should be. Before starting the chapter, first we should know the meaning of health. Students, it is to be free from illnesses and injuries. There are various types of illnesses, for example, cholera, typhoid, headache, malaria, etc., through which we can infect it. Sometimes you also get injuries. So, being free from all these illnesses or diseases, affections, and without any injuries is known as health. At the same time, there are some other factors also which makes the government to come in the role of to maintain the health of the public. In this, first is adequate food. If you are not having the adequate food which your body requires to maintain day-to-day activities, then it result is illnesses. At the same time, second is pollution-free environment. It is your second requirement for your healthy life. If you are not having the pollution-free environment, then it will again cause illnesses for you. Students, third one is getting clean drinking water. We have discussed in our previous class of civics that Kanta's house was in the slum area and where a drainage runs behind her house. In her locality, it is quite difficult to get clean drinking water. So, these are the three conditions that should be maintained properly by the government. Now, I am moving on to understand the other aspects of illnesses. Students, you should not be dull, inactive, worried, or scared from something for a long period of time. If you indulge, then you will have various types of illnesses. So from this detail, we come to know that the healthy person is one who is free from illnesses and injuries and who is getting the adequate food, pollution-free environment, clean drinking water, and at the same time he or she is not dull, inactive, worried or scared. Now our next heading is healthcare in India. Under this heading, we will do discussion of some important points regarding healthcare in India. First is that India is the fourth largest producer of medicines, and we have to proud on this. But on the other side of this point, in India, we have more than 50% of people, especially children, who belong to malnourished category, means they are not getting sufficient amount of food. Now our second point is India has the highest number of medical colleges, and it is producing around 15,000 of qualified doctors every year, but most of them settle in urban areas. So it is very difficult for the people who are living in rural areas to reach out this doctor. So the ratio between the rural population and the doctors available in that area is very less. Now coming to our third point. In 1950, the PHC means primary health centers, or you can say hospitals, number were 2,770. Slowly, the number of hospitals increases. In 1991, the number of hospitals were 11,174, and in 2000, the number of hospitals were 18,218. Though we are having too much doctors and hospitals, still the cases are registered. More than 5 lakh of people are dying due to tuberculosis, and around 20 lakh of people are dying from the other diseases like malaria. The number of patients are not decreasing, they are increasing day by day. Fourth and the last point is India gets a large number of medical tourists. They all come to India to get a better treatment that is not possible in their countries. But still, the government is not able to supply pure and clean water to all the population. More than 21% of the diseases are communicable diseases, which can be transferred from one person to another person easily. They are dysentery, cholera, etc. Students, if we want to treat and prevent illnesses, then we need some appropriate facilities like healthcare centers, hospitals, laboratories for testing, ambulance services, blood banks, etc. that can provide the required care and services that patients need. In order to run these facilities, we need health workers, nurses, hospitals, qualified doctors, other health professionals who can advise, diagnose and treat illnesses. Along with this, we need medicines and equipments. Students, as I told you before that India has a large number of doctors, hospitals and clinics, as well as India is the country who is having good knowledge and experience in running of public health care centers. These centers are run by only government. These healthcare centers, or you can say systems, have the ability to look after the health of a large section of its population that is scattered over lakhs of villages. Besides this, India has a phenomenal advancement in medical services. Along with that, many new technologies and treatment procedures are available in our country. But however, with all of these positive developments, Indian government is not able to provide all the proper facilities to all the people regularly. In this chapter, we will look at some of the reasons for this. Now, I will tell you one small story of Hakim Sheikh. Students, Hakim Sheikh was a member of Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti. It is an organization who is working for the agricultural laborers. It is in West Bengal. One evening in 1992, accidentally he fell from a running train. He got some serious injuries in his head and he needed immediate treatment. So he was taken to a government hospital in Kolkata. But doctors refused to give treatment to him by saying that they are not having any spare bed. Same like that, another hospital also denied by saying that they are not having any specialized doctor that he is needed right now for his treatment. In this way, he spent 14 hours in a critical condition and was taken one by one to different 8 government hospitals, but none of them admitted him. At last, his family taken to him to a private hospital. There he received treatment. There he spent a lot of money. Angry and upset over the indifferent attitudes of all the hospitals who did not admit him, Hakim Sheikh and his organization filed a case against them. Where a long hearing session, he won the case. The judge ordered the state government to repay all the money which he spent on his treatment. And judge also said that it is the duty of the government to provide the necessary healthcare services as it is mentioned in the constitution, like right to health. That's all for today, children. In next class, we will discuss the remaining chapter. Thanks and be safe.